Three, two.
This is episode 21 of DJ Talks. My name is Johnny.
Hey, what's up? I am Dan.
This is Dan.
Dan. Hey.
Dan. Damn, Dan. Hell yeah. So we're officially on Google Play and Stitcher, which is pretty dope. Dan initially got us on Wooshka, and now we're on 4 different platforms, including YouTube. So if you're listening from one of those other platforms that are not YouTube, welcome, and thanks for tuning in. If not, then, I think our biggest subscriber base is on YouTube with a whopping 34 subscribers.
Woo! Baby.
It's pretty dope because I didn't expect to have any at all.
We're rolling.
Slowly, but surely.
Yeah.
So this week, we wanted to talk about some games that we've played throughout this year that we enjoyed. Just with the holiday season coming up, a lot of people are going to have time off. And, if you don't want to go out and blow tons of money on vacations, or if you want to play video games so you don't know what to play, Dan and I were going to talk about some of the games that we really enjoyed. And then we might go on a tangent and talk about other games that we're looking forward to and stuff. But we just wanted to dedicate this one back to something that we both have a very special place in our hearts for: video games.
Hell yeah. These are not exactly the newest games. They could be new games as well, but we may have some old games in here, some random games. But I'm excited because I've played through some of these. I haven't finished some of these actually, but they were a lot of fun, and I actually got to play through quite a bit. So this year has been a pretty big gaming time.
Yeah. I didn't get to play as many games as I would have liked, but like you said, there are some old games that I played that I just absolutely loved. So we'll definitely get to talk about those in a little bit.
Yeah. So there are some of all costs, all shapes and sizes. I got most of mine, actually all of mine, from Steam. So if you have Steam, or if you have one of a PC, a Mac, whatever it is, you can check this out on Steam. Other than that, I know there's some on PS4 consoles. So we'll talk about that, though. So, Johnny, go ahead, start us off with one of your favorite games of this year that you recommend someone to check out.
See, this is really hard because I want to talk about the game that I'm playing right now, but that's such a cop-out answer. But I guess it's a good game to start with, so I'm just going to go with it because I have a lot of thoughts on it. It is... What?
Oh, and one last thing. These are single-player games. They're not going to be multiplayer MMOs, League, whatever it is. Those are obviously popular games, but we're going to stick to single player for now.
Yeah. They might have multiplayer functionality or features, but we're talking... I think Dan and I want to focus on games where there's a story, you follow it, and you're kind of playing by yourself sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So, I was going to go with it. One of the first games that I would definitely recommend that I've fucking loved so much is Pokemon Ultra Moon. I guess I would have to say Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, but I'm personally playing Ultra Moon because I'm partial to Lunala, even though every one of their mothers on my friends list loves Solgaleo more, which is the big lion cover Pokemon. But Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are sequels to Sun and Moon in the sense that they are in the same universe and are based on the same foundation for the game. What's very different about them is that Sun and Moon kind of just laid out the grounds for a new Pokemon region, and instead of being on one massive land, you have 4 islands and then other random places you get to visit. Spoilers. It's not actually a spoiler. They kind of announced it all over. And then there are trials instead of gyms. So you have to go through these really unique Pokemon challenges instead of going into a building and fighting random people that catch you and trying to do all these awkward puzzles inside of a building to fight one trainer at the end of it. Instead, the way these trials are set up are so you kind of fight Pokemon and they're different types of puzzles. And at the end of it, you fight a really strong, mega-sized Pokemon, which is pretty cool. But they added a lot of really unique aspects to the game, and it's really goofy in the sense that It's very comedic. It's very lighthearted. They throw back to a lot of old elements of Pokemon. What I like about this game a lot is that they have really taken steps to remaster the old games by getting rid of the frustrations and trying to make it as easy for you to enjoy and focus on those core elements as possible. So, I mean, I remember playing older games like Blue, Red, Fire Red, Diamond, Pearl. Those are like some of the titles that I spent a lot of time on, and there's just like a lot of really awkward things. Like I hated the idea of hidden moves, HMs, taking up slots on all my Pokemon's inventory. I hated the idea of what was it called? Not earning experience for catching Pokemon, even though you would have to like battle and it'd be pretty rigorous, and it didn't really feel as rewarding until you caught the Pokemon. And then just the idea of like having to do all these like really weird puzzles that were very structured within gyms. It just felt very it didn't feel as exploratory. Like it didn't feel as rewarding to explore different things, like experiment if you were like so structured and like go down this path, go to a gym, go down this path, go to a gym. So they revamped a lot of that since I would say X and Y, but they've continually gotten better in what you can do with the game in terms of the type of Pokemon that you can find, the other like single player features that are in the game that kind of give you more reasons to like farm, I guess, or to like go on an adventure. A new feature in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun Ultra Moon they added is called the Poke Pelago, which is an island that you unlock later in the game that comes when you are able to fly from place to place. And what's really cool is that in this island you can go like all the Pokemon that are sitting in your box are literally doing nothing. But in this island, they can farm berries for you, or they can go on treasure hunts for you, or they can like actually EV train, which is really cool because like usually you wouldn't be able to do that unless you were like going on the grind on your own. One of my favorite features about the new game though is that every legendary Pokemon from Gen 1 and Gen 7 is available to catch between Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. There are version exclusives, but between the two you can catch every legendary Pokemon, which I think is awesome.
Every legendary Pokemon?
Every legendary Pokemon.
Like,
but no, I should say though,
things like Zapdos and like from the first Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you can catch all of them.
Damn. All right.
There is a distinction though, as of like Gen 5.
Okay.
There was a distinction added between legendary Pokemon and mythical Pokemon. So mythical Pokemon are Pokemon like Mew, Jirachi, Celebi.
Yeah.
Those are Pokemon that I don't really know. I don't remember the distinct description of them, but legendary Pokemon, kind of like what you're describing, legendary birds, Mewtwo's available, Kyogre, Groudon, the 3 legendary dogs, the Swords of Justice, all of them.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're all available.
That's
between
super
the two
cool.
games.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And Dan, you're playing it too right now, right?
Yes, I actually recently just got it. So my initial impression of this game is how different it seems. So there's a lot of new changes from when I played X and Y. That was the last one I played. And then before that, I think I dabbled in Black and White a little bit, but I didn't really play too much. The last one I actually fully played was probably Diamond. So they've changed quite a bit on the way that the game is played in general. So things like that you mentioned were trials instead of gyms. The amount of random Pokemon that you actually do get to find, at least for this game itself, because I haven't tried the previous Sun and Moon. So the random Pokemon that you actually get, and then just the progression of where you start versus how you move across different cities itself. Yeah. Right? It's a little bit different in general.
Yeah, it is.
And I did notice that they have only TMs so far instead of HMs, but I haven't gone far enough. One thing that I have been a little bit annoyed about is how many cutscenes there are.
Oh, yeah.
That is one thing that I really... these cutscenes are so random, and it's like the intro. There's no way to skip are you a beginner player, or are you a advanced player? Have you played Pokemon in the past? This is literally every single step along the way you have one person standing there waiting for you, saying, "Oh wow, you made it this far. Good job. Here's something. Now this is how you battle. This is how you do this. This is how you do this." The number of cutscenes like that is a little bit annoying. That's one thing that I think they might want to fix, or have something where like you have those other single player large AAA named games where it says, are you a novice? Are you a medium player? Have you played this experience? Do you want to play it on hard? That kind of thing I want. So I can skip all the introduction. How do you battle Pokemon or something like that, It's great for beginners. Like if you're brand new in the game and you've never played a Pokemon game in your life, which you must be living under a rock if you haven't at least touched a Pokemon game at one point or another. You must have seen or heard or like played at some point.
Yeah.
You may not have liked it, but you at least walked around in the game a little bit.
I mean, probably, right? Like, I think it's safe to say that most people have at least been exposed to the idea of Pokemon.
All right.
Like, I mean, some friends of mine at work, like, they'll talk about how they never grew up with Pokemon, but they've at least heard of it. They know the ideas. Like, you catch Pokemon, you throw balls at them, and like they fight and shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people have actually complained about that, like, no veteran mode thing where you can like skip all that stuff and just like go straight into the game.
Right.
That's like probably one of the biggest critiques of like Pokemon games in general that I've seen like on Reddit, and even like one of my coworkers that I was recommending the game to. He was like, it just feels so boring for the first like however long because of all like they're walking you through all this stuff, right? So you're not alone.
That's good. That's good because that was my initial impression. Other than that, the number of Pokemon that I've actually caught is really fun and exciting. I don't ever think that, or I'd never imagined that I could catch certain Pokemon in the beginning. Like I got this Mime Junior. That was actually super surprising. It was a baby Pokemon at one point when I was playing. Back in like Diamond Pearl or maybe XY. I don't even remember when it came out, but I was walking in the grass and boom, it popped up out of nowhere. This isn't some special zone or special area. This is just a regular, while you're walking through the grass in the beginning of the game, boom, you find something. So I thought that was kind of cool. They added in at least a variety of Pokemon rather than seeing the basic, oh, you saw a Rattata, oh, you saw a Pidgey. The basic, oh, you got a normal rat type Pokemon. Oh, you have a normal bird type Pokemon. Good.
Yeah.
So it gives you a variety, and you at least can play around with it in the beginning. So, but other than that,
so would you recommend this to people if they wanted to like pick up a game for the holidays, or if they wanted to like play?
I just started. Would you recommend it?
I mean, of course I'd fucking recommend it. I think the game's so dope, and I think that what's really cool is that if you played the original Sun and Moon, there's a lot that's different as you approach the end game. The story diverges after a certain point, but the problem is that it's so similar to Sun and Moon for a lot of it at the beginning that it feels just like the same game. And I actually had a friend who was like, yeah, he recently played the virtual console version of Gold and Silver on his 3DS, and then he bought Ultra Sun because I was getting Ultra Moon, and he was like, you know what, I'm just not feeling it. It just feels too similar to Sun and Moon. I just got through like a Pokemon game, and it's like, it doesn't feel that special. And then he ended up returning to the game. So like there are going to be some people that don't really feel as much enjoyment from the game just because of like the grind that it takes to get to that point.
Yeah.
For me personally, I didn't play a Pokemon game recently, even though I was like itching to play. I'm kind of glad I didn't, because like I get to pour my hype into Ultra Moon, but I also think that the content that you're getting at the end is worth it. So it really depends. But if you haven't played Sun and Moon, definitely play Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. If you have played Sun and Moon, I would just recommend that you look into the end game content and see like whether or not you would want to get it,
Definitely. And that's something that I say as well. I haven't played a Pokemon game in a while since X and Y, so that's what, 2 years, 3 years, 4? I don't even remember how long.
Yeah, it's been a couple years now.
A couple years.
Yeah.
So going back from that to this now, it feels really good. So it feels like a good classic game again that I can play. And then for the 3DS, you have the multiple 2 different screens. So you can actually see yourself walking in one screen, and then you can see the map of where you're walking on the second screen. So you get a more third person view of yourself on one screen, and then you can actually see where you're going on the second screen. So
Yeah.
that's kind of cool, I thought, and a good use of the 3DS itself. So
I will say though that they did announce. I believe there's a press conference by Nintendo that said that they're going to release a Pokemon RPG in 2018, which I'm really hoping is a Diamond Pearl remake because we are like right on schedule for that. But you know,
yeah.
I'll just dream. We'll see.
I saw something on Reddit or on Facebook, something like that, where they had that RPG. It wasn't made by Nintendo. It was made by it was a fan made game.
For the Switch?
No. It was on PC.
Oh, Pokemon Uranium?
No. It was an RPG, like
Oh,
it
I
was
know what
some
you're
really
talking about.
random fan made RPG or something like that game. I thought that was super cool. I haven't heard anything about it since.
Mm-hmm.
But if they do make something like that, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Definitely be really cool. So,
All right, Dan, take it away. I want to hear about one of your favorite games from this year.
all right. So, one game that I actually played fully through, and I actually did a lot of the side quests of.
Was Hoonie Pop? Do you know what Hoonie Pop is?
I have no clue what Lollipop is.
Um, Hoonie Pop is a puzzle game
Okay.
slash dating sim.
Oh,
So you
okay.
play puzzles that are very similar to like Candy Crush slash Bejeweled,
Yeah.
and as you do well, these girls like you more, and then they lose their clothes. It's great. So I'll just be me, but you can go ahead and talk. Dude, it has like really good reviews on Steam. It's like really popular. My friends joke about it all the time. So I was like, oh, maybe
It probably has
maybe
really
you're in
good,
on the memes.
probably good reviews because there are naked women on here apparently.
Yeah, probably, dude.
No, but my game that I played was Watch Dogs. So
Oh shit.
I know it's actually a pretty old game.
Yeah.
Don't even remember when it was from, but it's a pretty old game that I recently just played because it was on sale on Steam. So it was during one of the Steam sales. The reason why I thought this was really cool, not only because the setting is Chicago, so you get to kind of see Chicago, where the city, the suburbs, the South Side, all of that different stuff. But it had a different feel to it. So it was almost a futuristic tech where everything in the city was connected to one type of system. And there are hackers and you play as this hacker kind of person, where you can control a lot of the city's computers, systems, railways, bridges, whatever it is. You can control it with your cell phone, with your phone itself, and so you can either raise the bridge, or you can lower the bridge, or you can hack into a system and use the cameras. It's a somewhat stealthy kind of action game. I thought it was super cool. It drew me in for some reason. Normally, these single player games, I play for half of the game. There's always so many side quests that I ended up not finishing the actual story.
And then
This
you kind
one,
of just get bored and forget where you were.
exactly. But this
Yeah.
one, I actually played through the entire game with the side quests as well. Maybe it's probably because it wasn't as long of a game. I don't even know.
So did you like 100% complete it?
Oh no! Hell no! Hell no! There's way too many side quests for that. There's a DLC, there's an expansion, so I'm still playing through that sort of. Like it's on the back burner now, but I finished the actual game. I finished a bunch of side quests. I think I got 60 to 70% done on it.
Uh-huh.
I put in a good number of hours, and just the mechanics behind it seemed really cool. It was like Grand Theft Auto in a high-tech, almost better graphic version set in Chicago. So I thought all of that combined, super cool. Worth a check if you find it on sale again at Steam, on Steam. Definitely worth a playthrough if you like that style of game. Almost similar to Grand Theft Auto.
So it's like a Grand Theft Auto open world type of game that's set in Chicago.
Exactly.
I see.
But there's a lot of different mechanics compared to Grand Theft Auto. So hacking, stealth, all of those different things. Whereas Grand Theft Auto is just go to a strip club, steal some cars, and shoot some things up. So
Yeah.
but yeah, super cool game. If you want to check it out, I definitely recommend it. I think it's still on PS3, Steam, maybe Xbox. I don't even know. Check it out. If you have it, it's worth a quick, probably 20 hours of your time.
You only put 20 hours into the game?
No, I put more than that.
How much did you put in?
Only 30 hours, actually, so far.
What? That's it?
That's all I needed. I love the story itself.
Oh, man. I'll give it a shot then. If it's only 30 hours, it's not bad.
Yeah.
I've already put like fucking 40 something hours into Pokemon Moon. I put I don't know how many hours. I think like 60 or 70 hours into the next game I'm going to talk about, which is like, I mean, yeah, I put 61 hours into a game that I already dedicated an episode to, Nier Automata. So
That's because you had to play through it 5 times.
yeah, but like every time isn't the same length. It gets shorter every time,
All right,
but
all
it's
right,
still
all
like
right.
a lot of stuff. And I did do a decent amount of grinding. I mean, most people do spend between like 40 and 60 hours.
Mhm.
I want to go back and like do more, but I mean, it's.
Maybe it's
I
because it was
also want to play Pokemon.
maybe it's
What up?
because it was quick. That's why. Maybe I liked it because it was quick as well. But
Yeah, Watch Dogs.
yeah. But
Mhm.
hey, it was good. I liked
I feel
it.
like there's some value in being able to play like a quick game like that though, because if you can get like a really good story out of just like a 10 or 20 hour game, like it
Mhm.
might suck because you're like, man, I wish this was longer, but at the same time, like if you're working full time like you are, or like you have a girlfriend like you are, or like you have other hobbies
What?
like you don't, it might be good to like have just a smaller commitment to a title before you move on
Yeah,
to another title where like, oh, it's also a really fulfilling story, right?
definitely.
Yeah.
All right, game number 2, Johnny.
I mean, I already
List
said
it
the
off.
title, but it's definitely
All
Nier
right.
Automata for me. The game was fucking dope. I dedicated an episode to this. I guess this could technically be in a part 2 of where I talk about the ending and stuff and like what I enjoyed.
Mhm.
Because our episode previous about this game, I talked a lot about the psychological implications of what the game was trying to like convey to the player. Some of the challenging thoughts that came across from like the robots. Because in this game, just like a really quick premise of the game, aliens have taken over Earth and they filled the world with robots. And a very small number of humans made it to the moon, and they have developed these android combat units that are modeled after humans. And the goal of this android alliance is to take Earth back. And
Mhm.
so you go in as one of those androids and you kind of fight the robots. You learn more about the aliens and the history of what happened to Earth. And eventually you uncover the truth as to the origins of the organization, what happened to the humans more accurately than what you're told, and then what happened to the aliens too. So honestly, it's really fucked up because the producer of the game, Yoko Taro,
Mhm.
or director, whatever, he's actually like a really weird, fucked up dude from what I've heard in other interviews and stuff. So because he's so strange and so weird, he's implemented a lot of these like unique elements of the game that made it very realistic, but also kind of like brought you into the world. And it's just so exhilarating when you're told some of these really messed up things. But the way the game presents itself is also incredible. I think that like because you are an android robot, for example, a minor spoiler is that like you are connected to a bunker satellite that kind of floats around outside of Earth, as the like your headquarters, your HQ. If you die in the game, you'll be able to rebuild your body at a different like location where you respawn, because there are spare parts of your battle unit on Earth. There there are a ton of like different types of units in the game, but you play as only a couple of them, and there are spare parts, right? So that's kind of the idea. So when you die, you can go back to your body, your old body, and pick up like some of the equipment that you dropped. If you There's also a self-destruct function where like you could like pull your own OS chip and kill yourself, which I think is really cool because like it's the idea of like if you're literally a robot and you pull your OS chip, I was like kind of you're killing yourself, right?
Yeah.
But your memory is uploaded to the bunker so you can rebuild yourself again. However, the spoiler is that if you pull your OS chip in the bunker blows up and you die and your memory is deleted. So then when you try to play the game, your save file is deleted. Because it's that like the idea is that your save to the bunker was destroyed because you destroyed the backup. So it's like just those little intricacies of the game is just like that's fucking dope. I mean, obviously that would piss me off if I like lost my save file because I was fucking around by blowing myself up in HQ. But like I thought that was really cool. But
you actually finished the game now.
Yeah. And oh man, like I think the game was severely underrated because like it didn't get the attention that other like AAA titles did. I think Watch Dogs got actually like way more attention than Nier did.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon definitely did.
Of course.
I would even say like Mario Odyssey is a really big title. I don't know, just tons of games. Rocket League, I would say, is more popular than Nier Automata.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all great games, but Nier was in this weird place where like if you played it, you probably fell in love with it.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack was really good, which I already talked about in the last episode. It's just a really weird thing about this game is that the way they make you uncover the truth is very dark. There's one character is a male character. His name is 9S. He is partnered with the main female protagonist. Her name is 2B, and it's really funny because you'll see a lot of like the game is known for having really good panty shots because 2B's character model, she wears white panties and like a really easy to see like skirt sort of thing. So like if you're climbing up a ladder, you'll probably see her ass. When you're running, you'll probably see her ass, stuff like that. And I remember there's this really dark moment where 9S was faced with the main antagonist, and they're not actually like facing each other talking, but they're in each other's minds. And 9S is a hacker. He's not like a combat unit. He's more of like a computer like hacking type of get in your head kind of unit. So when he was hacking one of the main antagonists, his name is Adam, actually, like Adam and Eve Adam. Adam is saying all these things like, you're probably thinking about how badly you want to fuck 2B, and that's all like you care about, and that's the only reason why you're trying to save her and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that just like caught me so off guard because I'm like, what the hell? This is not something that you would probably get from a video game usually, where it's you usually feel like you can get an idea for where a story is going,
right?
But then like there are a lot of lines along the like that structure where it's just like they're picking at your brain and it's making you feel like these guys are more human than you think, and this is really scary because a lot of like robots, like Adam was initially a robot but then eventually became a robot with abstract thoughts. So I don't know, I just thought something like that was really interesting because like as a human being, and as like a cis heterosexual male, it's like I've definitely thought about a scenario where like I'm like, oh, having sex with her would be pretty nice, and it's like not something that you really share with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really something that you spend too much time dwelling on. But then for the antagonist of a game to poke at one of the main characters who spends so much time with this other character and just say that as like a reason to like get under their skin is like, I just thought that was really cool. Which is kind of a weird thing to get excited about, but that's just like an example that like came to mind. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Dan?
It honestly looks very cool. I haven't actually gotten the game yet.
You should.
And I have always been hesitant, but it was I think $35. Next sale I might actually buy it, but
yeah, it's not on sale anymore. It's still $60. I was checking.
Oh god.
Yeah. I bought it for 30, so.
Mm-hmm. but I think it's I have never. It's a JRPG, correct?
Hmm.
I've never actually, I guess, played too many JRPGs, so I definitely want to check out some. And this one actually has been hyped up a lot. I don't know. I've heard very very good things about it from not only you, but I've seen a lot on Reddit. I've seen a lot of cosplays that people have done. Um, I guess in general, the community itself has brought attention to this game itself, and it
Yeah.
became really popular.
Hmm.
It's still, yeah, definitely not a AAA large title name game, but maybe that's
Yeah.
because of the company itself didn't do as
Hmm.
much of the advertising or as much media presence as possible. But
I do know that they're working on a sequel to the game, which I'm really fucking hyped about. Um, and I also know that a lot of people like don't. They also seem to be on the fence about the game too, where like they don't know if they want to put the money into it.
Mhm.
That just seems like to be the biggest thing. Um, I I think it was a great pickup. So that's just me personally. I also just bought it blindly.
Mhm.
I just had one friend tell me about how much he loved it, and I was like, oh, he's a fucking weeb. And then I was like, you know what? It's on sale, and I need a new game to play. So I was like, I just bought it, and it just worked out. So yeah,
All right, that sounds. I I really might check it out. Um, eventually.
yeah.
It's on the list of games, a massive list of games that people have slowly built up.
I think in this game is just so unique because there are very few games I would ever want to replay, and I think this is definitely one of them. Um,
True.
it just felt so good to play. I had the smoothest of it, hack and slide. You know what? Something really unique about this game too. You know how honest trailers usually just grills the fuck out of whatever it's talking about? It just like praised the shit out of this game. And like I mean
Ooh.
it did like kind of like poke a little bit at like some of the things that are weird, but in general, like honest trailers like said it was really good.
Okay.
So if that's something that, you know, might help convince you, you should definitely check out the honest trailer. There aren't too many spoilers in the game, but in the trailer that are
Mhm.
like, you know, the major spoilers are just like in the presentation of the psychology. That's like you go in expecting like big booty robot
Mhm.
and like really cool fighting, and you come out questioning like the meaning of your life, and it's great, man.
All right. Moving on now.
All right, give me number two for you, Dan.
Moving on now. Number two, I'd have to say, I actually also recently bought this game, and I've put only a couple of hours so far into it. Couple 13 hours already into it. Assassin's Creed Origin.
Oh shit, you picked it up?
I actually bought it. I took the leap.
Dang.
I've been a huge fan of Assassin's Creeds in general. The only
Uh,
game I haven't played was actually number one, the first game that came out. Yeah,
is that the game that got like all the? Is it like considered one of the better games, or
number one probably because it was the first of its
I don't know
generation.
anything
Right?
about the series. I just know the characters look cool, and the main character has a really cool name, Ezio or something, right?
Yeah.
I think
So
that's a dope name.
the first was the only one that I haven't actually played, and the reason why was because I was too late on the train.
Too late on the train.
Too late
What
on
you
the
mean?
train. I think it was already the third or the fourth game by the time I even checked, even remotely looked at number one.
Don't they follow the same story?
No,
Oh, okay. That tells you how much I know.
one,
about the
two, and
series.
three. Sort of, yes, sort of. They had
Mhm.
similar. I believe I don't even remember too much, but similar ideas, and they followed like the progression of it. Assassin's Creed Origins was the obviously in the title. You can hear it's the origin of where the assassins came from. So this was in Egyptian times, set in Egyptian times, and like I said, I just started the game, so haven't played through too much of it yet. But you're following same as all other Assassin's Creed. You're following one guy,
Mhm.
the assassin. You're following his story and his. The premise is basically his son was killed at one point, and you know this already in the very beginning. And you follow basically this revenge story of his. what he does, how he does it, all of that good stuff. Now they changed a couple of pieces, as in they. It's an RPG where you can level up your own character as well, so you can put into skill trees and everything. You can level up your weapons. So I really like RPGs in general. But the thing about this one is they changed a lot of the small mechanics that were very annoying in the previous Assassin's Creed. So I know one thing, maybe this was in another game as well, but when you call over your horse, so when you're riding in this one, you're actually riding a camel, but you can get a horse at one point too.
You got a camel?
Yeah, you get a camel. It's in Egyptian
You sit
time.
between the humps or on the hump?
I actually haven't paid attention to that. I want to check it.
I feel like you should know this.
I actually don't know how you ride the
How
camel.
goofy would it be if this like dude like got this like dark cloak and shit, and he's like riding on the hump? You know, like that looks so fucking weird.
This one actually, he doesn't have like the assassin style cloak and hood and everything, because it was the origin, so they didn't set it up all yet. But yeah, no, something like the small little mechanics of when you call your horse or your camel, it doesn't come straight to you. Sometimes it gets stuck somewhere in the random places. That was the previous.
The camel's like trips and it's laying on its back.
Or
like
other games in general, like that, where it doesn't come straight to you, whereas this game, it comes straight to you. So small little annoyances like that. And then whenever you're... There's this huge meme about the Assassin's Creed where you're trying to jump off a certain ledge, or you're trying to jump onto a certain ledge, and you're very close to it, and you're pressing in that direction, but you end up like jumping off the building altogether, and you end up dying and restarting that section. And it's very annoying because there are very small little mechanics of movement that needs to be properly done, but it wasn't properly done in the previous games, or there's some small little coding in the system where it didn't allow it to happen. So small little things, it just feels a little bit more fluid. And the story overall, you also have a side character, your hawk, that can help guide you in certain ways, and you can it's like almost a like a world view. You can actually go into the perspective of the hawk, so you can see the surrounding city itself. So there are a lot of cool small little things that have been added on to the Assassin's Creed Origins, and so far I have really enjoyed the game. And I'm a person who plays a lot of the side quests, so even those are somewhat interesting. And but so far, very cool, worth a try.
That's dope.
It was on sale. It no longer is, so you might want to wait for the next sale or something. But if you already bought it,
a $60 game.
Yeah, I think it was $45 when I bought it. So, but
sounds pretty good.
One of their better, I guess. It also has gotten really good reviews, so overall, pretty good. I like the Assassin's Creed because it's a cool concept. So. All right, Johnny. Number 3. I try out the...
So we can either talk about our third game, or... Actually, no, I don't think our...
We can go through it really quickly then.
I'm just thinking because like we have a audience, a viewer question.
Okay.
But I'm thinking like... Like... Okay, never mind. Okay, I'll just talk about the game.
You don't need to talk too much about it. Just toss it out. Quick premise of it. Boom. Done. We'll move on. And we'll move on to the comments.
Yeah. So the last game that I haven't played yet, but I'm looking forward to is Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Okay.
This is for the Switch. I think it might be for the 3DS as well. But what's really unique about this game is that it feels like a Final Fantasy, but not really. I don't know. I always liked the idea of the way the game is set up, where like you can do different types of attacks on different sides of the enemy. I don't even remember the premise of the game. I played most of Xenoblade Chronicles, but I didn't finish it. My friends got it for me for my 18th birthday. I should really like consider finishing the game. But I think the sword is really cool. The main character Shulk is this like really handsome blonde JRPG looking anime fucking dude, and I think the game is like it just attracts me on like all of the most like surface level
Yeah.
like aspects. Like all the characters are gorgeous. The weapons look cool as fuck. I mean, it's also like an open world type of thing where you're like running around in fields and just fighting random shit. Which is really I guess that might be I don't know if that counts as a JRPG, but like Near Automata definitely felt like my first JRPG, just like in a title that I finished and was like fully fledged 60 FPS battles. So that was really cool. I guess I did play Breath of the Wild, and I almost talked about it, but I felt like that was a bit of a cop out answer as well. But I think I'm really looking forward to Xenoblade because I've been looking for like that kind of experience where like you're in a world and like it's kind of like the Japanese anime style type of game, which is different from Breath of the Wild since that was more like I don't want to say corny, but classic Zelda cheesy type of battling. I think it'll be really, even though the game is a lot darker than most of the Zelda titles, but just that like anime type of game, but like with the sword fighting and stuff like that kind of stuff appeals to me. So I'm really looking forward to Xenoblade Chronicles. The game comes out this weekend, actually. By the time this episode goes up, the game will have been released. I will not have played it, but it will be in my room because I pre-ordered that shit.
I've actually never played Xenoblade Chronicle, or I've never heard too much about it. So, but
it's
I
really
have
big
played,
in Japan, but like slowly made its way to America.
Yeah, I have played it on Smash.
Oh, like
I played
Shulk
on Smash. So that's all I know about the character itself. You have like different swords and different. Yeah, the swords. That's all I know about it. So.
And the sword has different forms.
Yeah. So.
And it's like a laser. I don't know. It's cool as fuck, man.
Worth a try, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Sounds good.
What about you?
Last game I have is Sonic Adventure 2. So.
Oh wait, you only recently played that game this year?
No. I recently played it on Steam. I have it on the GameCube, and I've played through it on the GameCube.
That's an amazing game, dude.
But I haven't touched it in a while. And there was a huge Humble Bundle sale, and Sonic Adventure 2 was part of it. Now that is a game that if you haven't played a Sonic game, or if you haven't played Sonic Adventure 2, that game
is just so
one
good.
of the best Sonic games
so good
ever made, right?
Yeah, for sure. The stories are really good. The stages are dope. The
yeah.
soundtrack is really good.
The soundtracks are amazing. I still love those soundtracks. But playing through it, it's still a level-based system where, I mean, like there are different points and levels and that you go through, and you can play as almost all the characters.
It's not a level-based system that your characters level up. It's level-based stage 1, stage 2, stage 3.
Stage-based, yes.
Yeah.
But you play as so many different characters. I love that part. You have different types and different modes. So you have Sonic and you have Shadow, which is like the dark version of Sonic. But they have one style of play. Then you have Tails and you have Dr. Eggman. They built this machine and you can shoot things as well. So that's another style. Then you have Knuckles and you have
Rogue.
Rogue,
right?
Yeah.
Is it Rogue?
Yeah. They have another style which is searching for gems and diamonds and the Master Emerald. So
and like they can fly and they can dig and they're really mobile. It's pretty cool.
So the variety you get in the game. Not only that, I love the mini game.
What, Chow racing?
I love the chows and raising them. Hey, man. That chow stuff is amazing. It is amazing
so
side
cute,
game.
yeah.
Because the chows themselves are very cute. They are very cute.
So for those of you guys that don't know, chows are like these little fucking... Imagine these like little blue creatures that have like big ass heads, and they're like, I don't really know what they are, but they're just really adorable, and you can train them and raise them so like they can race and they can like battle each other, and then like you can feed them different like types of animal essences or like battle essence or whatever, so then they can like gain different attributes but they're always like really fucking adorable because they're tiny.
Hmm.
Oh man,
And
it's actually fantastic.
the mini game itself is you raise this out of an egg. You raise a Chow out of an egg. It starts as a baby. As you feed it, as you like feed it the fruit that falls off trees, you feed it battle essence, animal essence, whatever it is, they grow up as well. So you're
And they have to
growing
like
up with it.
rocket, but if you like throw them around, they'll hate you.
Exactly, but you also, in order to get a dark Chow, you had to toss them around, you kick them,
Exactly.
or raise them with a dark person. So it's super cool. The mini game is one aspect of the game that I thought they did really well.
Hmm.
And then not only that, but the main game. So every part of this game was really good. So check it out on Steam. If you haven't played it, if you
It's
haven't
really
checked out a
cheap,
Sonic,
isn't it?
yes, I think it's like $5, maybe $10 at most.
It's super cheap, but like it's definitely worth it. The game's really good. Yeah, it's only $10. I would buy it at full price. I don't think
Hmm.
I don't know if I did. I might have, but
Yeah. I played it on GameCube, and I just
Same.
recently got it this year actually on a Humble Bundle. Um, so I played it on Steam. So it was a good memory. If you like the quality of Sonic, or if you like Sonic, the style itself, play different types of characters. Check it out.
yeah, it's really good.
All right. So
Time
moving
for
on. Then.
our viewer question.
Viewer questions and comments. I'm gonna go with the comment quickly here.
Go for it, man.
So we had one of our viewers and the one person that actually has been on the show with us as well, Sal, Sugar Sal.
It's my boy.
He sent us from our last video. We did kind of some top 3 items, useful items that we at home that we like. He sent us one. It is the Instant Pot Duo 66 quart 7-in-1 multi-use programmable pressure cooker, slow cooker, rice cooker, steamer, saute, yogurt maker, and warmer. This thing has it all. It is all. You can throw out your other equipment. You can throw out your other stuff. Get this one.
This just seems like
item.
perfect for a lazy fucker like us who just like throw shit in the pot, press a button, and hope your food comes out.
Hell yeah. And you don't need to buy other things. Like, you don't need to buy a slow cooker. You don't need to buy a rice cooker. You buy this one thing, 7-in-1. Thank you, Sal, for your contribution in our lives. I might check it out. Unfortunately, I might not buy it because I have almost all of these items at home. But if I knew about this item before I bought all those other ones, this would have been a more convenient way, less space taken up. If you don't have all of these items, you might want to check it out. Right now, it is $100 on Amazon. I don't know if he got it for sale. I don't know if he got it anywhere, but there are smaller ones, so the 3-quart ones, and there's bigger ones, the 8-quart ones. So maybe it's worth a try. Viewers, check it out. He says it helped him, his item of choice for around his house. So
Yeah.
thank you, Sal.
All right. So Sal actually asked us a question too. So when we were talking about all the items, his question was, "What's a gift that you received that you initially thought you wouldn't like or have use for that you ended up loving?"
Oh shit.
Yeah. It's a good question.
It's a good question. I just need to kind of look around for my items here.
Just looking for something that you might be able to name.
Yeah, you start off while I think about something in my head here.
Oh man.
All right, well, I'm going to start off.
All right. You
Maybe
go for
I
it,
didn't
man.
get it as a gift, but Emily, my girlfriend, told me to buy this for the longest time. And it was one of the items that I talked about last video. It was the espresso maker. For the longest time, this cheap espresso maker thing, it was like $20. She has been telling me to buy it for like half a year to a year, ever since I consistently needing Starbucks. She told me to buy it. I never bought it. And finally, she was like, you better buy it right now. So I finally bought it. So I guess you can consider it sort of like a gift or sort of like just an item that I didn't want to buy because I didn't think it was useful. And
Yeah.
it ended up being very useful, and I use it every day. So
That's pretty good.
there you go. That's one.
Man, this is hard.
It is. I
I
don't
don't
even
get
remember.
a lot of gifts. That's like a big thing because it sounds asking specifically about gifts. Um, so I think,
Maybe a game that you got as a gift that you didn't really think was good.
okay, that helps me a lot.
That narrows it down. Boom.
No, that definitely narrows it down. That would be CS:GO, Counter Strike
really?
Global Offensive. For the longest time, a really good friend of mine was like, "You gotta fucking play this game with this dude." I'm like, "Hell no, I'm bad. I ain't dropping $15 on a game. I'm gonna get shit on playing." And in hindsight, like thinking about it, like $15 for CS:GO is like a pretty good price for a game that's this competitive and with such a like high learning curve. But I initially didn't think I would really enjoy it, and I always told him like, if you buy it for me, I'll play it with you. And I never thought that he would actually buy it for me. But then he one day gifted it to me, and I'm like, oh shit, man, now I gotta play it.
Yeah.
And I really didn't think I would like enjoy it because I'm really bad at FPS games. I don't really find a lot of pleasure in like those kinds of games in general. I like I'm a sucker for like the story type of the games where it's like really long form, you draw you in.
Mhm.
I like the emotional kind of stuff. So like, you know, Near Automata, Pokemon, shit like that, Zelda
Mhm.
games, things that like really bring you into their world. I really like. But then I like the next thing you know, I put in like 100 to 200 hours into CS:GO, and I'm like, all right, I see. I found myself like practicing headshots, and I found myself like downloading maps where I was like trying to improve. And I didn't last very long because this was during college, so I had to like drop a lot of games when school picked up. But then I was like, you know what? In hindsight, I'm really glad that I had the game because I never thought that I would enjoy it that much, but I did. I was very wrong.
Putting
I don't play it
100
that much now because it's pretty hard still, and I'm also like, I don't know. I would rather like just lay in bed and play Pokemon right now
Yeah.
or something. But I still think it's a great game. And actually, when I was at DreamHack Denver, I got to watch Cloud9 play it live,
Mhm.
CS:GO, and I'm like, this is fucking hype. Like, this is so cool. I'm glad that I played the game and have like a very elementary knowledge of how if it works because then I could appreciate how good the pros are, and
Mhm.
seeing them live and seeing them like in action was really exciting. So I think that like contributed to my love for esports as well.
Yeah. That one game, especially if you put in 100 to 200 hours, definitely worth it for a $15 game.
Yeah,
So
I think so.
anything you put, I think like 100 hours plus in was a pretty worth it game. Anything less than that, either the story itself was short, which is fine. Like if you love the game under 100 hours, but just making it fully worth it, maybe 50 hours pluses. But
Yeah,
no, that's really good. Those pros, the reaction time they have is absolutely
insane.
insane. So
it is so cool though. I
the
love it.
accuracy, yeah. And the thing about CS:GO is you can actually 1v6 carry or 1v5. Oh shoot, I don't even remember.
1v5.
1v5 carry a game where you like it's very possible. Those are the highlight moments. Whereas something
Yeah.
like League of Legends, it's very difficult to 1v5. Very, very, very difficult to 1v5.
I mean, they
because
make it
it's
so you can't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's such a team-based game, whereas CS:GO, it's still a team-based game, but you can show off your mechanics hugely. So,
yeah,
all right. Thank you,
That-
Sal,
yeah.
for both of your little comments, questions.
Giving us a little something different, so you're featured twice on the podcast. Hell yeah, that's legit.
Look at
You
that.
thought it through.
That's one viewer that's consistent.
That's all we need.
One,
Just one.
one viewer that we know is consistent because he tells us he's consistent. But I'm
Yeah,
sure
but-
all you other viewers, you are consistent as well. Let us
Listeners,
know.
man, we have listeners now.
All right,
Because we're
listener,
on like all
there you
these
go.
other audio platforms.
Let
Hell
us
yeah.
know what you think. Give us a comment. Give us a question. We do read them. So if you have a question, if you have a comment, we will feature you if you want to be featured. So sounds good. Like, subscribe, blah 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 blah. All the below.
Thumbs
YouTube,
up on
thumbs
Google
up.
Play, just drop a subscription so you get updates and notifications on your phone when we upload a new episode. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and you'll hear from us next week.
Bye bye.